What is going on, guys? Today we have got the final team of the week that I'm reviewing. It is big boy Ziyech. With his right wing, I would never play him right wing. He is not a right wing card, and to be honest, I'm going off him. I really liked his gold card. Obviously it was like the first 2 weeks of the game, so everybody's new, everybody doesn't have their meta full-on icon teams. Now I'm really coming up against a lot of Mbappes, a lot of Neymars, a lot of Werners, and a lot of Messis, and then there is a crap load of icons around as well. For me, Ziyech is just now out of touch. He's got the 5-star skills, which is absolutely amazing, but he lacks that weak foot. That is a big factor with him. He has to be all left foot, and as soon as the opponent finds that for me is game over for him. He knows you have to go that side. You can try him on his right, but for me he's just so poor with it. It's just, you may as well kind of tempt that left foot every single time. He is very quick on the pass, which is always nice. But anyway, let's get into the in-game and see what we know. So Ziyech is coming in at 80k. Obviously he does have a one to watch that I think is more desirable at the cam roll. That is 133k, and we've got his right wing here at 80. He is not a right wing. There is no way I'd ever be playing him at right wing because he is a cam. I hate when they do this. They did it with Mata. They've done it with plenty of other players. They've done it with Mkhitaryan. They're cam players, they're attacking midfielders. They are not right wings because he doesn't have the pace for it. He doesn't have the pace, he doesn't necessarily have the dribbling as such in terms of his animation for it. He is an out and out, playing the ball through the middle, getting the ball, making the turns, passing it out wide. There's no way he should be receiving it on that right wing. I think I used him one game at right wing just to test it, see if he's any good, and there's just no chance. Lucas Moura, literally a third of the price, and he is 10 times better on that right mid because he is a right mid. In terms of stats though, like I said, he's got the 5-star skills, 2-star weak foot, he is left footed, 5'11" with high work rates. He's an interesting one because I think he's got the potential to be so good. The weak foot is a massive one, and I think if we do get the kind of weak foot upgrade again, I think it was foot birthday that we got it, that is going to be a huge one if he manages to get it. If he gets a 5-star 4-star or even a 5-star 5-star, that for me would change my opinion. Plus it would be a hell of a lot higher rated. I think Ziyech, for me, if I was putting him into any contender cam spots, I think he's got to be near 88 to 90 rated. I think his stats are so spread out and so not necessarily the most meta kind of position stats. He's going to take a long time to get up. His shooting is most definitely not good enough yet, and I think that's why a lot of people will put a hunter on him. That will kind of do it enough, but I think it's still poor for the time that we're in. We've already got Werners, like I said, we've already seen Mbappes, they've got the shooting. If we look at someone like De Bruyne, got very nice shooting. We look at Bruno, again, these players are higher rated, sometimes more price, and obviously more desirable, so they're bound to be better. If people are wanting to use a Bruno or a De Bruyne over somebody, it means that player is better, and normally it is. Sometimes we've got a Malot, very nice card, doesn't necessarily has the most OP stats, but he's free and he has almost the same sort of stats. So it's very interesting to see what you can get from a paid card or from a free card, and that's why I'll always do my free cards. But let's get into some gameplay, see what Ziyech did and see what we think about him. So with Ziyech, an assister, that is the perfect example of him. He does have a nice shot on him, don't get me wrong, his shooting isn't awful, but I think it's got a long way to go before I say it's amazing. He is constantly hitting the post. We see it multiple times in this review, and multiple times in the last gold review that I did for him. He always tends to hit the post, as we see there, and I don't know what it is. I normally get a pretty good percentage rate of goals compared to hitting the post this year, and Ziyech managed to do it twice in one review. Literally 4 times, I think, in literally 2 reviews, so he's got the chance to get there. It's just that final finish for me, and I think it mainly comes down to that weak foot. Sometimes you've got to hit it on your right, and that is a very random shot in my opinion, because he's 2-star weak foot. It's just not worth it. We hit the crossbar on that one. Honestly, he just does everything, but in terms of assisting, you cannot argue that he's a very, very good player. He's got a cracking pass. He's very quick on the turn, which is always nice. That obviously in this kind of FIFA, the turn in circles, the turn in dribbling is very, very effective because it takes time to move a defender. And if you're going from left to right, there's always that chance that you can kind of make him slip up, make him make a tackle when it's not ready, and you just dribble around him. We see another post there as well. But if we do go into the overall from then, we have just whacked a hunter on him. Let's just double check the price. We've got 86, 67, 80, and Foot Champs rewards are not even out yet. It's going to be a very interesting one because I feel like he'll be packed a hell of a lot. Red picks, inform packs, whatever. He's going to be one of them ones because he's a lower priced, higher rated. He's going to be ones that's going to be in your reds. He's going to be in your packs, and it's going to be very interesting to see how much his price dips. Is he worth the investment? Probably not. Being Chelsea is nice and in the Prem, but the nation isn't quite as desirable for fodder. And I think, is anybody really going to want a right wing? You can normally get a lot of them in terms of gold and go for more of the kind of centre mids, other cheaper areas where you can find maybe an 85 for half the price. It's going to be very interesting to see where he lies. But in terms of stats, for me, it's just not impressive. It was really impressive on his gold. In the first couple of weeks, I enjoyed the card. Felt like he played better than the stats. This time round, I just think he's out of touch now. And I said it in the last review, literally a week or two. Once we've got past the first couple of Foot Champs, people are going to have the big teams. People are going to have the big names. And for me, Ziyech just doesn't fall under that. In terms of generations, obviously he is new to Chelsea this season. He did start his career in the Netherlands. Obviously a big player for Ajax. Managing to get a team of the season there. Team of the season in 17 as well as 19. And then obviously he did manage to get a storyline, or yeah, I think it was a storyline in fact. Chelsea transferred card before he managed to get into FIFA 21. He's already an 86. Can we see many more special cards of him? I do hope so, because it will be a nice one to have. I do like his left foot. I think it's very, very sweet if you can connect it. I just think it's very easy to spot. And that's always it's never a good thing, especially when you're playing against someone who is very good at the game, or at least knows how to play. He's going to be marking that like no tomorrow. He knows you're not going to go for that right, so you're going to have to go for maybe an outside of the foot, which he does have that trait, and then he also does have flair. So it's very interesting to see what he could actually do in terms of going past that left foot. Do you play him on that right mid, bring him in? Do you play him as a right cam? It's always a potential. I just think for me, the one to watch version is better in terms of position change, but then also I just think he's out of touch this year. We do have some nice links just to kind of finish off. Obviously Chelsea have had some very, very big signings. We've got Havertz one to watch, Werner's one to watch, and then also got a big boy Kante who you can link in with, and then there's plenty of other players, but in terms of the top three, them for me are the best links that you can get from a Chelsea strong link. Alternatives, we're looking at Bruno, we're looking at De Bruyne. Them for me are the kind of better players. We've got Bruno obviously for a decent price. I think he's about 100k. De Bruyne obviously a little bit higher because of his rating, but in terms of the ability, both of them very, very similar and very, very good players. And I think hands down, if you're looking at anywhere over 50 to 60k for this card, definitely look at one of them alternatives. But hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more content. I'll see you in rewards, and I'll see you in Road to the Final. Peace.